All aboard your tech and games caboose. So Tesla had their Model Y unveil, so we get to see some really cool stuff with another sexy Tesla. And we also have some Huawei P30 leaks and everything going on. But let's go over the Model Y. So there was again an event, and they also have an order page up now. So why don't we just click the order now button and see where that takes us? Because it could be pretty cool. So there's actually 4 models, but the first 3 models will be out in 2020 fall, and then the 4th model, the standard version, which is going to be $39,000, will be available in 2021 April. So we'll see how that goes. And this is the $42,700. This is this is with the savings, the gas savings, so it's actually $47,000. But what we get to see here is a Model Y with a long range for 300-mile range. So Tesla batteries are doing pretty good, and apparently we're going to get 130 miles per hour at 5.5 seconds up to 60 miles per hour. So pretty fast electric cars. This pretty Tesla for you. And then we have the long range version, which is going to basically have it's another long range version with dual motors, so all-wheel drive. And this is going to be 51,000. You're going to lose about 20 miles, but you're going to get quite a bit of speed. So another 5 miles an hour, and then 4.8 seconds up to 60. And then the performance model, which is what everyone probably is going to be getting, the 150 mile an hour top speed at 3.5 seconds. So 60 pretty quick, you'd have to say. And this is $60,000, and that is included with the 1.5K performance wheels. And actually, let's just start ordering this. Let's go over to the next tab and see what we have here. So there's actually 2 sets of wheels, the 18 Aero wheels and then the 20-inch performance wheels, which get included with this performance package. And then we have a couple of colors to choose from. And black is the included color, and then we get some extra colors: midnight silver metallic for 1.5K, and then a deep blue metallic, which we also get to see in a cool on-road shot. So it's driving pretty fast here. And we also have a couple other colors: pearl white multi-coat for 2,000. Looks pretty white with that a little bit of red brake performance-ness in there. And then we have a straight up red multi-coat for, again, 2,500. So pretty cool options, pretty good colors. And then there's a couple a little bit of interior colors, black or the black and white for an extra 1,000. So you get some extra colors there. And then this is an SUV with 5 seats, mid size. So basically, we're also going to have an extra 7 seats. So there's going to be a little extra row, but this will add an extra $3,000. Plus, it'll push you back into 2021 versus the 2020 fall release set for the first 3 models. So you'll have to decide. We'll go with the 5-seat interior. We don't really drive with too many people around, so we'll just pick that. And let's go on to the next tab. So autopilot, you have 2 different options here. You have the regular autopilot, will let you steer, accelerate, brake. This is 3,000. And then if you do it after delivery, you don't want to do it beforehand, there's going to be an extra 1,000, so 4,000 total. But we want full self-driving capability, which they also mentioned in the live stream was going to be feature complete by 2019. So then they have to just get approval and everything else going on with that. But their software is going to be pretty good there, and this full driving is 5,000. So that's going to get you all the extra stuff: autopilot, automatic driving, highways, on-ramp, off-ramp, parallel parking, and then summon your car from parking lots. So all the cool stuff like that, traffic lights, and city street driving too. So that's 5,000 or 7 if you get it afterwards. But we definitely want full self-driving capabilities. And then that was pretty much the order experience. And now you just need to have the money of $2,500 to order it now. We got up to a total of $71,500. You obviously will be able to get a cheaper version, the $39,000 standard version, which will be coming out. But they usually start with the more expensive models and then roll it down into the less expensive packages. So pretty good there. And enter your first name, last name, email, and then you have a couple different options of cash or doing a loan. So they have different, like 24 or 48 to 72 month options, 3.75% APR, so different options there. And that is your Model Y. We have a couple other little things from the actual, here's a panoramic glass roof, which is pretty see-through and pretty cool for electric cars and just cars in general. And then we have some other little bits of news that we get from the actual event. It was about an hour-long event. They showed off all the cars lined up next to each other. They had the semi come out on kind of on stage, off on stage, but they had all the electric cars there and trucks, and so pretty cool there. And then here's the lineup. Here's all the stats side by side with each other. 5.9 seconds, $39,000. This is again spring 2021. I think it's April also somewhere, but that's what we're looking at. And what else? Other little notes do we have? The 7 seats, we get some actual sizes. So this is a little short version by The Verge, by the way. You can check out a little short version or a longer version. You'll have to YouTube search that. But panoramic glass roof, we just saw seats up to 7, and then the interior size is 66 feet cubed, and then the cargo is 1.9 m cubed. So a lot of different stuff there, and some safety stuff Elon Musk talked about on stage. With the other Tesla cars, the battery is located in the bottom part, so the center of gravity is really low. And that's what I think is the Model 3 gave the best safety driving car in the US or worldwide. I forget which one they said specifically, but again, the Model Y is going to have the battery pack lower center of gravity, so it's going to be most likely the highest rated mid-sized SUV with the best safety ratings. So pretty good from Tesla, focusing on safety. And then one other little tidbit of information, they mentioned that the drag coefficient of the car was 0.23. So I believe that is with probably the performance model, because I think the suspension said was a little bit lower to give that extra oomph to get that speed going really fast. So pretty cool there. And so that is pretty much all of the really cool Model Y stuff. We'll just have to wait to see it on the road and people driving around with it. Boom, boom. So pretty cool there. And with that, I think we have some other tech news with the Huawei P30 and the P30 Pro, and even a light version. All the leaks have basically, all the specs have been leaked pretty much. Just with every other smartphone this happens. You have to take this with a grain of salt, but they're usually all leaked beforehand. So what we're seeing here is 2 different versions. First, we'll talk about the Pro and then the regular P30. So we have the Pro, which is 6.47 inch panel, and that is pretty big, and we get a lot of curved edges to this and thin bezels. And then the other model is the 6.1 inch, which has a little bit more bezels, and they both have the little water drop notch. And other little differences from the front, it's mentioned, is it looks like there's a little bit of a speaker grill here, versus the Pro, the larger screen, doesn't seem to have it. It's a little bit cut out. So they might be introducing a sound display, so vibrating, bone conduction, and all that. We saw, I think with Sony did one of these phones, and a couple other phones are also starting to do this. So pretty cool there, getting rid of speakers and making lots of sound. Resolution 2340 by 1080p, it looks like on both models, potentially. And then there is a 32 megapixel selfie camera, it looks like, again, for both versions. And that's where we start to get some of the differences with the actual cameras. So it looks like 3 cameras on the rear of each, and possibly a 4th little something camera there going on. But we get to see that they both are going to have, the P30 is going to have a primary 40 megapixel camera and with an f1.6 aperture, and no stabilization here, versus the P30 Pro, which will have OIS, and it looks like a wider f1.8 aperture, so potentially better at lower light. It's also mentioned, pretty good there. And then the secondary camera is going to be a 20 megapixel wide angle camera, as well as it looks like the P30 Pro also has 20 megapixel wide. And then the third really good camera is going to be on the P30 is a telephoto, 8 megapixel telephoto with a 5x lossless zoom. So they're using the extra megapixels and everything to get some good lossless zoom going on. And that is what the coolest part next is coming up for the P30 Pro, is they're going to use their periscope lens, is what we're looking at, and that's a 7.8x optical zoom, and that's what these pictures right here are representing. So this looks like it was noted as the Huawei's the marketing materials. And so you got your normal shot pretty far away, you're in the back of the stage, the back of the crowd basically, but it doesn't matter because you can get your 7.8x optical zoom and get right up on stage basically. This is what it looks like, and looks pretty good. We also saw a moonshot the other day was tweeted. It was a really close-up shot. And then you have your lossless zoom, which isn't super lossless, but it's a super close shot either way, from where you couldn't even see the person's face with just your eyes. So that is a pretty good technology in a camera. And other little notes about the camera, looks like the P30 Pro's camera setup will be a time of flight camera, so you'll get some good blurring and depth data going on. And there is laser autofocus and a dual tone LED flash. And that, I guess, leads us into the specs of the phone. We're looking at a Kirin 980, the same as the Mate 20 Pro. And then 6 gigs of RAM. There might be a couple different versions with higher RAM and higher storage, just like most smartphones are doing these days. And Android 9, probably not US with Huawei's issues going on right now. We'll have to see. There was, I think, a news article today about them potentially doing their own operating system, so we'll see what happens there. And 40-watt supercharge, which is going to be pretty fast on a 3650 milliamp for the P30 or a 4200 for the Pro, so adding an extra battery life there. And that would be pretty quick to charge. But we'll get all the details on March 26th when Huawei themselves officially announce it with all the pictures and all the video and all the official specs. So pretty good from Huawei. And one more little quick news. They have the P30 Lite, which also has some press renders. And this is a little bit of a more mid-range versus the P30 and the P30 Pro, which probably will be below 1,000 and above 1,000, but we don't have pricing yet. And this light version of the P30 is going to have a little bit lower cameras, obviously. The screen is a little bit different potentially, and also with a much lower price, which could be reportedly cost $417. And again, these phones are looking like announced in March and then April launching. So pretty cool. A couple different colors here, white, black, and blue. Not as quite as colorful as the other model press renders, but pretty good either way. So that is your Model Y auto car news for today with electric cars and a little bit of Huawei cell phone news. So pretty cool there. With that, we will have another episode tomorrow at the normal 1 p.m. Pacific time and sometimes extra episodes. So pretty cool there. And we'll be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.